right, FitcamX Dashcam. This is for 2015 Mercedes-Benz C300. Let's see what we got. Pretty nice packaging, it looks like. All right, trim tool. Nice little adapter. Plug in your SD or micro SD, it looks like, and plug it into your device. Looks to be a mount. What is this? It is. Okay.
You'll have to excuse my friend. He's a little slow.
Alright, so this looks like wire brackets here with 3M sticky on the back for some cord management for running the rear camera to the back. I don't know exactly how the cord's running yet. I'm not sure if I'll be using those, but we will see. Here is the cam, which very plug and play. Should integrate very well with the existing interior trim. We have a speaker grill, power button. This here looks like a camera icon, so I'll probably take a snapshot. And then these three different holes here. One is, I believe, reset. One is an LED light indicator for Wi-Fi, and then I think the other one was for power, I believe. Yeah, I just double checked, but this is, yeah, this looks like it's a color match for the interior trim pieces, because I just wasn't accustomed to looking up at this. But all right, indicator lights and buttons. Just like we were talking, power button, camera button. Press and hold the camera button for 20 seconds to restore factory settings, okay? And the reset key just restarts the camera. Indicator lights, flashing blue is recording. Only red light, pause video recording. All right, it says do not start the engine or leave the car switched on when installing, otherwise the car may display error codes. Exciting. This one plugged into the wire harness that was going into the rear view mirror. And then this one just runs a cable for the backup camera. So let's see if we can't get this thing installed relatively quickly. All right, the directions say to download the FitcamX application to watch a tutorial for the install. Now I did that, but I don't know. Maybe I'm missing it, but I didn't see it. We're gonna figure this out as we go. And I will approach this one, hopefully with some degree of logic. Now it looks like this piece right here, it's going to wrap around the rear view mirror. So obviously I need to get the original part off, but I'm going to look at this piece here to see, and it looks like these guys here need to get pushed down so we can slide this piece off. Now let's see if that's an easy task or not. All right. That one seemed to be okay. This is less cooperative on the opposite side. Let's see if putting that one in place makes this one easier. Well, got it. All right. So this guy comes off. Trying to see if there's like anything on this piece, since I think it's safe to assume that this piece here, since it's trying to mock the OEM piece, is probably going to attach or connect in whatever way that the OEM piece does. So I'm trying to see where this is connecting potentially. That way I know how to remove the stock piece that's already currently there. So it looks like it's going to clip into something right around here and here. But that's the only thing that I can noticeably tell that would hold on to this. Now let's get up there and take a peek, see if I can't remove this piece first. The piece here, I want to try to, looks like it's already coming off actually. So up here, So it's a slightly different connection than the new one, this one here. But yeah, just so you know, when you're trying to pull this out. All right, so I got this removed. Essentially, all that I did is I took, while it was up here, took the pry tool and just stuck it over here near this connection point and just pulled it away from the windshield. Didn't have to use a lot of force by any means. And then once I got that one disconnected, I just kind of slid it down and away from the rearview mirror, and it just slid right off. Right up here. This is the harness that we're gonna integrate into the new unit. All right, so I got it unplugged. Little piece in there. You want to press that in and then start pulling it out because that relieves the tension here, that keeps it clipped. So I'm going to take this plug, that gets plugged into here, and then this plugs into that place where I just unplugged that one. Okay, and then we'll run this one here for the backup camera. Not sure which side I'm going to run that on. Yeah, we'll find that out here very shortly. I got the things plugged in, as stated. What I'm doing is running cables like this, getting the trim piece on, and then I'm going to try to tuck this in as much as I can to kind of fill up any empty space that there might be inside of here. Got it on there. You can see it sits pretty flush. I haven't put the cover piece on yet, but I'm going to try to tuck these wires in there now as best I can to kind of hide it. Obviously this one here on the left, guy here, this is going to be run for the rear view camera. So since I have it rigged up this way, I guess that kind of makes my decision pretty easy. I'm going to run this on the driver's side. So a bit of a cleaner look now. You can see I tucked everything away inside here. And then I took the camera one and just rerouted it along here. So since I'm running it through the front there, the windshield, along the windshield, I had it coming out here, but I just took my trim tool that they provided right here and just kind of made a gap. You see that between the headliner and then the trim piece, and then just kind of fished the cable over around to the front. That way it's not, super obvious, just kind of wrapping around the trim piece. Here I can still tuck it away, and then it just looks, like a clean install. You don't even see any additional wiring. The rear camera, I'm going to run along the windshield like I mentioned, and right there, that trim piece, it looks like it's actually kind of poked up a little bit already. Gonna run the wiring along there, and then in between the headliner and the weather stripping here along the door. Keep carrying along here, all the way through to the back, and that piece there, that little section piece there, should be able to squeeze the wiring in there and then have the rear view camera poking out the back somewhere, maybe behind the center headrest, so you won't even notice it. But yeah, that's the plan. At least try to show you me tucking away some of this stuff. It's not easy with one hand. So that's why I've been putting the camera down, but just so you can kind of see, it's just simply just tucking it in this weather stripping here. I'm almost back to the C-pillar here. So now comes decision time. I think I'm going to continue to run like I was initially thinking, come down along here and then run the camera in the center. I think that's going to be the move. Pulled a little bit of an audible. So initially I was going to go run up along here and over. Then I realized that the way that the upright position is for the camera, the wire would be coming out to the left here. And in addition, I also had a bunch of length of wire left. So I opted to go this way, and it's not as clean of an install. As you can see, it looks noticeable right here. You can see the wire noticeably sticking out. However, it's doable. It actually almost looks like piping, like a interior piping. But anyways, I ran along here, went along the back side. I did end up folding the seats forward and kind of running it along. You can see I folded this seat forward, had a bunch of length left. Then I ran it up along this side, all the way through here, back, up along here, and over, and right out the center here. So I opted to go high as opposed to low. The angle was really weird when I was trying to figure out how to mount it over here. I don't know, it just got a little weird. So I figured this would just be easier, and then I can adjust this as needed. The camera can be adjusted up and down. So let's jump up to the front and check out this app, get this connected. Something to keep in mind when you're doing this, when you're first trying to connect the phone to the app, I noticed that I was having issues with connectivity, and once I disabled CarPlay, it kind of resolved everything, so just keep that in mind. Something you'll notice with the image here, as I put a note on the screen, don't forget the blue film over the front camera like I did. I went through the camera settings just to see the different settings it offered. I turned on sound recording, and then I also turned on driver collision sensing. I switched it to medium sensitive, see how it reacts. Hopefully I don't have to find out firsthand, but switch it to medium sensitive. You can see the other settings in there. And then I just went to the album. Oh, you can switch front and rear for the bigger or smaller image. And then camera files, you can see all the different loops and snapshots that have been taken. So the app looks like it's working. Snapped in the last piece. Final look on the rear. How much real estate it is not taking up. Pretty unnoticeable. Not adding any additional footprint, and it just looks like it came like that from factory. All right, so that's the install. Like I said, I really like these ones that are model specific because it helps eliminate some of that extra wiring you see with, the general universal ones. I don't know, I just wanted a cleaner look, just a more seamless factory look. I'll leave links down below in the description if you guys want to pick one up for yourselves. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one.